A new business is bringing some good fortune to a landmark of the local music scene. One of the only female-owned record stores in the Twin Cities opened in South Minneapolis last summer. And as Maury Glover shows us in tonight's Maury Stories, the shop is a tribute to some of the biggest bands to come out of Minnesota.
Tape is rolling. Quiet. Yeah, it's rolling.
When it comes to the evolution of Minnesota music, few intersections are as instrumental as 26th and Lyndale in South Minneapolis. Now the new kid on the block is dropping the needle on a new era for a storied storefront. At Lucky Cat Records, vinyl heads can get their fix from the store's new and vintage stacks of wax.
This is a road case that was used by Slim Dunlap on the Don't Tell a Soul tour for the Replacements.
But it's also a mini museum for the local music scene.
And of course we've got our Trip Shakespeare and Semisonic represented.
That carries on the legacy of what came before.
With all the history here, it's really big shoes to fill.
Michelle Swanson opened the shop this past summer after learning the historic space was available, even though the retired Delta Airlines HR manager had never run a record store before.
It's something I never planned on. It was a pie in the sky sort of idea that came to fruition, and it's just been fantastic.
Back in the 70s and 80s, the space was home to Orpho-Kajokapis, which was a mecca for legendary local bands like the Suburb Soul Asylum and Husker Du, who hung out to listen to punk and post-punk records, while also frequenting the CC Club across the street for a drink. In fact, the Replacements were discovered here when frontman Paul Westerberg handed the band's demo to their future manager, Peter Jesperson, who was working as a clerk at Orfolk.
He said, "You mean you think this stuff is worth recording?" And I said, "Well, yeah. Why did you give me the tape?" And he said, "I was just trying to get a date opening for somebody at the Longhorn."
After Orpho-Kajokapis closed in 2001, employee Mark Trias ran Treehouse Records here until 2017. The shop sat empty for 7 years until Swanson decided to bring another record store to the neighborhood.
This space is so special, and I really wanted to make sure to honor the past and Orfolk and Treehouse and what came before, but all the artists and all the music community.
There are nods to the past beyond just the posters on the wall. The sign out front is in the same font as the one for Orfolk. And for opening weekend last July, Replacements bassist Tommy Stinson performed in the store with a surprise encore with the son of Minnesota legend Bob Dylan, Jacob Dylan, and the Wallflowers, who happened to have a show in town.
It's been just amazing being able to open a record store in this kind of hallowed spot in this place.
Swanson named her shop after the items she saw in every storefront while traveling in Japan with Delta. But she hopes her focus on local music will hit a groove with a new generation of fans without skipping a beat.
We just hope to continue to be part of the community and to be something that's valuable, and also a place where we can continue to educate people about the past.
For Maury Stories, Maury Glover, Fox 9.
Feels good to walk down memory lane like that.
Still a taste for that stuff, right?